Well, I'm out here getting ready to harvest some of my greens, and I thought maybe you might want to come along with me. I got a bag, just got me a little plastic bag to hang on my arm, and then I'm going to go around to my plants that have greens, and I'm just going to start harvesting them. Like I got some here in this top bucket. And I just drop them right in the bag. I can open this bag a little bit more. And this is perpetual spinach right here that I'm gathering. I usually do mixed greens. I harvest my perpetual spinach, and I harvest my well, know where to put my scissors right offhand. But you can see hanging a plastic shopping bag on your arm, helps you to gather this, because you don't have to hold all of it. It's kind of hard to hold everything and gather your greens at the same time. And I usually check them pretty good even before I put them in the bag for bugs or anything, but usually I don't have any on my perpetual spinach. Boy, that wind is blowing today. It's going to break my plants. Yeah, I had someone to tell me that I needed to start taking my stuff to the farmer's market. But like I said, the only problem with that is you got to have a license to sell vegetables and stuff, and I don't have that. Or they will not let you set up at a farmer's market. So between the fee that it would cost me to get that license to set up at a farmer's market, and then have to pay the fee to pay for the spot to sell in, it really wouldn't be worth my while, I don't think. That's why a friend of mine used to sell watermelons. He'd go to Mexico and get these watermelons and bring them back and sell them on the side of the road. That way he didn't have to have the license. He didn't have to have the spot. You know, he didn't have to pay for the spot to sell them in. But I really can't see myself on the side of the road. And you can't have a business within my subdivision, so I wouldn't be able to sell greens out of my house. I mean, you even have to notify the subdivision if you're going to have a yard sale. And then I think now you're only allowed 1 or 2 yard sales a year. which, you know, I don't care. I stopped having yard sales years ago because I really didn't make anything off of them. And I spent a lot of time. Oh, look at there. I got another tomato almost ripe enough to pick. I've got a pan full of tomatoes in the house that I've already picked. See, I don't think we got any more over here. I think all my greens are on the other side except for my collards here. And they're not big enough that I want to start cutting them yet. I might have a leaf or two up here. But I pretty well got all of the leaves off my collard greens the other day. But I got some that's big enough now to, I guess, cut. And it'll just help some of the other ones grow. Drop some of them that don't look too good down in the bucket or down in the pot. I mean, you can harvest this whole great big bag of greens. And, you know, it'll make a pot full, but then when they're cooked down, they're like a fourth of what they were when you first put them in the pot. Some of these will make good compost. I'll just drop them down in the pot for right now. And there's no worms on there. It's the grasshoppers, I think, still getting on my plants, eating my leaves. And cutting these off will just encourage the plant to put out new growth, put out new leaves. That'll be good leaves to harvest. Little buddy, I don't know what I'm going to do with you two kitty cats. I don't know. Y'all were just fighting and the fur was flying. I know. I know. Yeah. Let's see. Wind is blowing out here. It's pretty hard. See if I can come over here and harvest some off of my green stalk. I'm trying to get more peppers on there. I'm gonna have to start harvesting some more peppers. Some of those stems cut off that I left on here the other day. I left some pretty long stems when I cut the leaves off. And my poor little oh, what do you call them? Forgot the name of them. They head up like little cabbages. Brussels sprouts. I couldn't think of it. I'm just cutting the leaves off of them. Look at that. Or the little flowerette at the top. Because the worms like to have a field day with those, so I haven't had any to head up yet. And that's okay, they taste just as good like this. They taste just as good like that. There. That's got them. Let's go around here. All my collards are still looking pretty good. I probably need to dust them. Some have been eating the leaves off a couple of them, but I don't see anything on them. So, look here, my little tomatoes. Here, let me flip this around. They're getting ripe, y'all. Some of them are ripe enough to eat right now, like that one. Because these are the gold tomatoes. They're ripe right now. I think I'm going to pick them. Throw them in my bag with my greens. And when I go to wash the greens, I'll be able to get the tomatoes out. Not all of them are ripe, but a couple of them are, see? You don't get them off when they ripen up, they'll drop. Just like I just dropped that one. And see, I can get turnip tops. Just look at them real good. Let me open this camera. Or this tripod. Turn the camera back around. Yeah, turnip tops. These little turnip tops right here, they're real good to cook with your other greens. Just mix them all up. That's what they call a cooked green salad. Some of these turnip tops are pretty good size. And of course they're good to harvest with your turnips when they root up. I don't have any. No, those are radishes, but you can eat radish tops too. And my arugula. This arugula has kind of a bitter taste to it if it's just by itself. But when you mix it in a salad or other greens, the bitterness goes away. You don't taste it anymore. But it's real good. It has a different kind of taste to it. Kind of odd. See what I can harvest on these. And like I said, you can harvest your greens like this. You can blanch them or either cook them. I like to just cook them completely and then freeze them. And that way, all you have to do is take them out later and warm them up. And you got cooked greens with your meal. I mean, look at this. It looks like lace. That's what grasshoppers have done to that leaf. I'm not eating that one. I got plenty of them that don't have all those holes in it. Yeah, sometimes little spiders will get on there. And you do get worms on them occasionally if you don't keep an eye on them. But you can keep them off. You can keep them off with a 7 dust, my pepper spray. I don't have any more pepper spray made right now. And the wind is blowing so hard right now too today that I don't want to try to spray them or anything because it'll end up in my face. Yeah, I save a lot of time by checking each leaf before I put it in my bag. And if they don't look too good, I just toss them in the tote and it'll go to compost and fertilizer for the other ones. Unless I take them out and put them in the compost pile. And I put a lot of them around my banana trees because they don't have banana leaves. But these like cold weather. Most of the time they last right on through freezing cold temperatures. They don't care. They love it. They love the cold weather. Oops, I'm about to dump some out of my bag. I think I can go ahead and get this one too. It's a nice new leaf, brand new leaf. I mean, look at this. That poor leaf, and there's not one worm on there. That was grasshoppers or something else that ate it. And you can eat it. I mean, you can eat them even though there's holes in it. The holes don't hurt as long as you wash the leaves good. I've got enough though that I'm choosing not to eat it. poor thing, it's leaning over because of its weight. I'm putting them here so I can look over the leaf a little bit before I put it in my bag. Make sure I don't have anything on it. Me and bugs don't get along. I like my vegetables to be clean. Like I said, the ones that don't look good, you can just throw back in the tote. And I need to cut some of these off and start rooting them. They're getting too tall. I mean, those are pretty leaves right there. That leaf right there is kind of curled all up. Look how pretty that is. Not a bug one on it. These will keep you regular, that's for sure. And they're full of vitamin C, potassium, all kind of stuff that your body needs to be healthy. Boy, that sun is right in my face. We'll get some of those over there in a minute. I got some right here I want to get right now. I got perpetual spinach right here. And the leaves that don't look too good, I just drop right back down in the tub or the pot and let them go to mulch. Or they can go to food for the plant to keep it alive and keep it going. Got my bag full already, y'all. And I still got a bunch of greens to get. Like these right here. Move the camera back a little bit and you might be able to see. I can't drop it down anymore. Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do with Lucky. He keeps wanting to fight you. I don't know what we're going to do with him. Trimming up some of those other stalks that I cut the other day. That way they won't be pulling the nutrients from the stalk. And I can go ahead and put out new leaves. My bag is full, y'all, and I still got more to get. All over here and back here behind us. This is the Chinese cabbage, I believe it is, or the purple. No, this is the purple kale. Because you can see the stem on it, how purple it is. I'm gonna have to go get me another bag. Yeah, I always look my greens over every leaf because these are pretty good sized leaves. I look them over real good for bugs before I put them in my bag, before I put them in my bowl. That way I don't have to worry so much when I go to wash them. I just basically wash what little bit of dust or dirt that's on them off, because I know there's no bugs. I've already checked them for the bugs. And the spiders. Sometimes you get these little bitty spiders on them. My bag's almost running over. But that's not a bad problem to have. I stripped these just the other day and they're already full again. I just clip them right back as far as I can get them. Like this one, I got like a spider web in it. Just brush it right out and it's gone. Yeah, cutting it with the scissors saves your fingers. It saves the plant too from the strain where you pull on the leaf trying to break it. Whew. That is going to be a pot full, y'all. And here's this other big one I got to trim down again. Beautiful leaves on this. And there's not one bug on it. I looked over them good the last time I harvested leaves to make sure that there was nothing on them. And all I saw was a grasshopper. I mean, there was a worm or two on some of them, little bitty ones, and I brushed them off. I mean, I'm not saying you're not going to get worms on them, because you will. If you leave them there and let them keep growing, sooner or later, the worms will get on them. That's the reason I like to keep mine harvested. Because this is the way you're supposed to harvest them anyway. They're not going to head up like a cabbage. These are basically like a tree collard, so that's how it grows, more like a tree. Sometimes I cut part of the stems off if they're too tough. And just drop it right in the tub. It'll go to mulch and go to plant food for the other plants that's going to be there, as well as the plant here. But see, when you harvest them, it puts all the nutrition and the moisture into the new leaves growing, because these leaves are not left on here taking up any energy from this plant. Whoops. I caught on my finger and went right back in the tote. Yeah, and my collards over there, they look so good. I think I'm going to have to move some of my buckets with my collards in them and move them out more in the sun, because these days are cooling off. And I think my collards need more sun than what they're getting. So I'll probably be moving them. Because it's not going to be any 95 and 100 degree temperatures now, so collards need sun. And I can move my other collards easy enough because they're in buckets. I can move one bucket at a time and put them wherever I want them. That's the good thing about planting in a bucket. You can move it. If the plant doesn't like the location it's in, you can move it somewhere else. I mean, look what a haircut I'm giving this plant. I only saw, I think, 2 little bitty worms on a couple of the outer leaves, and that was it. And I brushed them off. They're gone. But if I'd have waited, they'd have been more and more as the days went by, until the next time I came out here, my plants would look like lace. They'd be full of holes. And the worms would be rampant on them. So you got to check your greens quite often, almost every day if you can. Make sure you don't have any creepy crawlers on them. And if you do, make sure you spray them with pepper spray or some kind of spray to deter the worms from eating your plants. So I guess I'm giving you a lesson in greens today. And usually it's the bottom of the leaf that has anything on it. Usually the top is pretty clean. I don't know why they get on the underside, but they do. Yep, I'm scalping this one. Gave it a crew cut, y'all. How do you like that? Gave this plant a crew cut. And I have got a bag full of greens. I mean, just look at these things since the last video I did. Look at those greens. Aren't they beautiful? Look at those plants. They're beautiful collards. Like I said, if I can just keep the bugs off. And I'm going to try not to harvest leaves off of these, but I mean I could. But I'm going to let them get bigger. See how big I can let them get before I harvest anything off of them. Now I got these to harvest. In this tote. And like I said, I've got several different kinds. These are the purple walking stick kale, because they got purple stems. I've been harvesting tree collards, perpetual spinach, turnip greens, and I'm putting them all in the same pot. It's a salad green is what it's called. Or a green salad. A cooked salad. Because these are going to be cooked. No worms. Which I'm happy for. lot of these aren't big enough yet. Move it to the other side. Because I got some big enough here. Some of them just need to be cut off and drop because the leaves don't look too good. I mean, they're not eat up. They don't have bugs on them, but the leaves don't look too good. That one's all right. Oh, man. Now, let's go over here and get these. Don't want to put that on top of my onions. And for the most part, these stems can be cooked. I'm just cutting some of the biggest part of them off. But once they're cooked and you chop them up, they just go right in with everything else. I took a big bag to my son's house. I don't know if it was the last time I went over there. It might have been. Because I know he likes greens. He likes spinach. He likes that kind of stuff. And it's good because he grew up eating it. It's all good for you. It's a beautiful day. It's not hot, but that wind is blowing. It is blowing like crazy. Yeah, I do this every time I harvest greens. I just clean the stalk basically. And in a couple of days, I got more. Another thing I like about planting greens in a tote or a bucket, especially if you put something down down in the bottom of it, or not in the bottom, in the top. Let me get this thing here so I can set my bag on it. But if you put like mulch around it, every time it rains real hard, it doesn't splatter all that dirt all over your leaves like they do when they're planted in the ground. And then it takes you forever and a day to wash them because they're so full of dirt. Just cutting these bad looking leaves off. Keep the good ones. And like I said, as the leaves break down in the tote, they add their mulch and their plant food for your plants here. There's a worm. There's just one on there. They're little bitty ones. They haven't done a whole lot of damage yet. There's a little bug, but he's not, he's like a miniature grasshopper. I don't know what they call him. Whew. And another thing, when you plant in totes and buckets, you can put them up as high off the ground as you want. If you got a stand or a rock, a boulder like I do, you can even build a platform to plant them on, so you can get them up off the ground, so you don't have to stand on your head to work on them all the time. Don't have to stand on your head to harvest. And I harvested just this much the other day, just a few days ago. Yeah, take your time when you're harvesting greens like this and look at them good. Get the bugs or any eggs off of your plant before you put them in your bag. You'll be glad when you did, when you go in the house and try to wash them. That's for sure. See, and you cut the stems off, drop them in your tote. You're killing two birds with one stone. You don't have to trim them when you get them in the house. You don't have to look for bugs when you get them in the house. All you got to do is rinse them off, wash them off a little bit, and put them in your pot and cook them. I mean, if it's a scalding hot day, you may not want to do it, but, you know, when it's cool like it is today, I'll do it. I've got more perpetual spinach here. And I look them over good too, even though usually they don't have any bugs on them. For some reason, they don't get wormy like some of the other stuff does. I mean, they will get some on them occasionally, but not many. Not like cabbage or collards. I'm running out of bag space. Oh, my back's already getting to me. And I'm standing up and just kind of hunched over a little bit. But it's nice to know you can grow this kind of stuff even if you can't put it in the ground. You can grow it in totes or buckets or big pots. big leaf. I don't want this growing in my onions. But I still got some more over here. Let's come around on this side. Oh. Oh man. Better put that on the ground. And let me move the camera because you can't see what I'm doing right there. Or I don't think you can. The wind has broke my pepper plants off. Let me cut this one. Look at that. It would have produced more peppers too. Cram this down in this tote. It'll go to mulch. But I got more of the purple. Look at that. It's a purple. It's a dark, deep purple. That's that, I think, a Hungarian hot pepper. I'm not sure. But they're little bitty and they're purple and they're great to put in pepper vinegar. The only thing is, I was surprised when I put this in pepper vinegar, they turned green. The purple went away. So I'm gonna put that in my pocket till I come back out here later. And I'll pick the rest of them. Well, I could pick them now, but they're too little to put in that. I think they're too little. I started to say I could put them in the bag with my greens, I guess. Get this one out of my pocket. I gave my son a jar of the pepper vinegar that I made with them, but I told him, I said, I was hoping they would stay purple, but they didn't. They turned green. I don't know what the vinegar did to them, but they lightened up. And they were green by the time I got them to his house. They're so deep purple, they look almost black. Oh, there's a jalapeno. 2 of them. I come out here to harvest my greens and I'm out here getting peppers. And I'll get this hot juice on my fingers. The flowers, the blooms for the peppers are even purple. I mean, I don't know if you can tell those, if you can see the blooms, but they're purple. Just drop them down in the bag. Just have to make sure I get them out of there. make sure I get them out whenever I go to cook my greens. I don't want to cook that hot pepper in my greens. My bag's going to turn over. Look at my tomatoes, all on top of these greens. I mean, it takes you a little bit longer to look over them when you're cutting them, but it's well worth taking the time to do it, so you're not frustrated later trying to wash them and check them. Get any more in this bag or not. I got a bag full. Check a couple of my rutabaga leaves. Get some of those in there too. I have just got walking stick kale, perpetual spinach, all of this stuff everywhere out here. It's just scattered. I put this tripod down so you can see. I don't know what you can see. The sun is so bright out here. Oh man, I got a bag. I got a bag full, and I got more perpetual spinach here. A lot of it's not quite big enough though, and I might let it grow a little bit bigger. Break out some of the bad leaves off of it. Put it in this other pot. It'll help the pepper grow until cold weather freezes it. But this is the reason I said, you know, I planted my perpetual spinach, my kale, my walking tree collards, perpetual spinach, and all that the beginning of the summer. And that is my fall crop too. My spinaches, my kale, my collards. So really all I had to plant for a fall garden was my true collards. They're not walking, no, tree collards. They're regular collards. Let's see, we got some more here. We need to get, maybe I can see what I'm showing you here. The sun's not on the screen. Oh man. But it's weighting them down. The leaves get heavy. Yep, my bag is running running over. I'm gonna get this one too. And cook stem and all. See those pretty leaves? They're all ruffled up, but there's not a bug one on them. Not one bug. guess it's too far down, isn't it? There, now you can see what I'm doing up here. Whew. And the colder it gets, the less bugs you're going to have on your plants. Because the bugs won't bother them when it warms up. I'm just wondering. I don't know if I can. I'm going to plant a couple more down in here. Because they're getting too tall. And I don't want them that tall. Now I got dirt on my scissors. Look at this, y'all. My bag is running over with collards and greens. I think too, let's see. Don't know if I got any more down this way. Because I think all this is peppers and all the other stuff. But I know I got some around here. And you know what? I left too big a leaf at the top over here. I'm going to get it. It's too pretty a leaf. Look at that for me to leave. Oh, I know. I knew we had some more over here. One or two anyway. That's rutabaga leaves. That's going to be real good in the pot with my turnips, my collards, and my kale. And maybe it'll help that root grow a little bit better. Put the other leaves down in the bucket. I think I got some around here. I know I harvested a lot of them. Yeah, like this one here I harvested. You can see how I did because I was breaking it off with my hands. I'll come back and cut more of these stems off. They won't be taking all the nutrients from the new leaves. Just careful not to cut off the new growth. Yeah, at this point it'll just about break off, but you don't want to damage your plant. Yeah, a lot of them will break off because they've been cut for a couple days. I got snails in there. Snails are eating them too. They're way down in the armpit of the leaf. But like I said, you cut them back. Just be careful, don't cut off your new growth, your little bitty new leaves trying to come on there. And that'll send all that energy to the new leaves. I just turned my bag over. And I think that's got them. But look at this bag. It's cram full of greens out of the garden. Now I'm going to take them in the house. And, oh gosh. Don't mind me, y'all. I got to sit down a minute. Little buddy, I'm not going in right this minute. Oh, goodness. But, yeah. I got this whole Dollar General bag full. I mean, it's cram full. There's probably, I don't even know how many pounds of collards in there. It's pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. There's probably, if they were divided up in the little bags that you get at Walmart and in these other produce, the stores that have produce sections, you know, where they sell the greens in the bags about that tall. Usually it's $5 or $6 a bag. It may be more now, I don't know. And they are not crammed in there like these. These are just packed down. I probably got, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 bags of greens right there. And even at $5, that's $35 right there. Probably more than that, because like I said, they're packed pretty solid in there. And I still got perpetual spinach here that I need to get. And I got some back here, and I got some in the wishing well out there. I got a pot of perpetual spinach out there. Little buddy, I know you love me. Yeah, he come hopped up in my lap. Him and little Lucky was fighting earlier. They scared me. I mean, little Lucky won't leave little buddy alone. I don't know what we're going to do with him. I don't want either one of the kittens hurt or the cats hurt. I love both of them, but, you know, I hate to see them fighting like that. I had to turn the water hose on them to separate them. Because I'd go toward them and they just didn't pay any attention to me. So I came back here and got the water hose, turned it wide open, drug it out there and started to spray them with the hose. And that's the only thing that separated them. Yeah, I was scared to death he was going to rip little buddy open. But from what I can tell, neither one of them got hurt. There was fur flying, don't get me wrong. It scared me because I've never seen these two fight like that. They were going for blood. But little buddy was standing little buddy was standing his own. He's tired of these other cats picking on him. So I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I don't want little buddy hurt, and I don't want Lucky hurt. So I just don't know. I don't know, y'all. And the more I look at these greens over here, the more I got to come over here and cut them. The more I got to come over here and cut them. Back this thing up so you can see. I had to take the little tripod off the top of it. There you go. Because some of these are not good ones. Some of them are. But I'm just going to cut them back to the beginning. Let them start all over. I can throw these in the compost thing over here. What I don't save to cook, I guess. So I'll be cooking these when I go in the house. Yeah, I'm just going to chop them off and let them come back again. I think that's about got it for these. I'm just going to cut that one off because it's up in that tomato bush, and I think the tomato bush is what attracts the worms or the bugs to the plant. Got a ripe tomato right there. Pretty good. Now I'll show you what I'm going to do with this stuff. Just a minute, little buddy. I gotta get it up where I threw it down over here. Now you can do several things with it. You can put this in another tote or a bucket to build your soil, put it in the bottom, layer it with dirt and other compost. You can throw it in your water bin to make compost tea like I did right there. Or you can cut them and leave them right in the top of the pot, and some of it is left in the top. And it'll go to mulch and plant food right in the top of the pot for you, or the bucket, whatever you use. So with that, yeah, I got one over here that needs a little bit of water, I guess. That one right there in that little half barrel thing, it's kind of wilted. I'll get a little bit of water out of this compost bucket. It's not going to take much to water that one. And that's going to be it, I think. Me and little, yeah, me and little buddy over here. Me and little buddy. Say me and little buddy. Oh, I saw a, ooh, look at that. He did get your ear. He scratched a hunk out of your ear, but it's not bleeding or anything. It's not that bad. I don't know if you got him any or at all. But I tell you, I don't want my cats fighting. Y'all have any suggestions on what to do, let me know. Because I sure don't know. But anyway, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to take my greens in the house. I'm going to wash them. And I'm going to put them in the pot and start cooking them. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye now, y'all.